This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
Enter the world of sports the way you want with EA Sports College Football 26. Whether you rise through the ranks as a coach or chase greatness from high school recruit to Heisman, build your legacy and wear your colors with pride. Buy College Football 26 now at go.ea.com/MVP-bundle and bring glory home today. EA Sports College Football 26 is rated E for everyone. Includes in-game purchases, including random items.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Got a car to sell but no time to waste? Hop on to Carvana.com to get a real offer for your car in seconds. All you have to do is enter your license plate, answer a few quick questions, and if you accept the offer, Carvana will pay you as soon as you hand the keys over. They even offer same-day pickup in many cities. Save your time, score some cash, and sell your car the convenient way to Carvana. Pickup times vary. Fees may apply.
Your burger is served. And this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. And as your vacation maximizationer, I'm going to make sure you hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Let's get real close. Maximum apple. Now that's fresh crispimization. Maximum waffle. Hear that crunch. And that's maximum coffee. Oh yeah, that's the pour I'm talking about. Breakfast maximized before hitting the road. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen. And keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at polestar.com.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
If you went on a road trip and you didn't stop for a Big Mac or drop a crispy fry between the car seats or use your McDonald's bag as a placemat, then that wasn't a road trip. It was just a really long drive. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
Hey business owners, we know you know the importance of maximizing every dollar. With the Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business American Express card, you can make your expenses work just as hard as you. From afternoon coffee runs to stocking office supplies and even team dinners, you can earn miles on all your business expenses. Plus, you can earn 110,000 bonus miles for a limited time through July 16th. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business Card. If you travel, you know. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply. Offer ends 7/16/25.
Welcome to the HCI family of podcasts. We're your source for personal, professional, and organizational growth and development. We share our own original research, explore industry trends, and interview executives and thought leaders from across the globe. Join us for practitioner-oriented content around all things leadership, HR, talent management, organizational development, and change management. Maximize your personal and organizational potential with the HCI family of podcasts.
Jose Berlanga, welcome to the conversation today.
Hello, John. It's great to be here. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's great to be with you. You're joining us from the Houston area. I'm south of Salt Lake City in Utah. And today we're going to be talking about the truth about business growth, lessons learned, wins and losses, and really that raw truth. And, you've lived it. I'm super thrilled to have the chance to sit down with you and to have a real raw conversation about what you've learned throughout your career. As we get started, I wanted to share Jose's bio with everybody. At only 4 years old, Jose Berlanga found himself at death's door following a devastating accident that left his body covered in third-degree burns. Determined not to let tragedies solely define his life story, Jose set out to make a name for himself. He has achieved multimillionaire status 4 distinct times in 4 separate industries: an import-export company for machinery, for the petrochemical industry, investments including a chain of Italian coffee bars, a residential construction company, and lastly, land development and construction. Each success was a feat of starting from ground zero and meticulously building his wealth anew. I think it's super interesting that this, you've done this 4 completely distinctly 4 separate times. You're going to kind of walk us through what that's looked like to kind of pull yourself up by your bootstraps to build success, what that's looked like for you to do that from a resiliency standpoint, but also what that's looked like to build successful business, to build successful teams. I'm thrilled to have you sit down with me to talk about all this. Before we dive on in, anything you would like to share by way of your background or personal context, and then we'll launch into the conversation.
Well, sounds good. Again, it's great to be here. Just listening to that intro is exhausting, just to think about the life events that have taken place over the decades.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
With a Venmo debit card, you can Venmo more than just your friends. You can use your balance in so many ways. You can Venmo everything. Need gas? You can Venmo this. How about snacks? You can Venmo that. Your favorite band's merch? You can Venmo this. Or their next show? You can Venmo that. Visit Venmo.me/debit to learn more.
You can Venmo this, or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this, or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo.
The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted. Venmo purchase restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Yes. I can honestly say that I am an expert in dealing with adversity, in dealing with setbacks. That has been my life, dealing with problems, dealing with issues. That develops an ability to solve problems, just like practicing any other science. The problem solving in life, in real life, gradually develops an ability for you to move forward, to deal with it, to get over it, and move on to the next one. And they never stop. It is just a game of life, dealing with these issues. You named some of the industries where I've succeeded. I'm proud that I've achieved some level of accomplishments in a few industries. But what not a lot of people see are the other dozens of attempts that I made, exhausting attempts to build a company, to start a company, to work on a concept endlessly that did not work. It's the nature. It's the nature of business. It is. Do we really want to know the truth? That's the question of all questions. As we investigate, perhaps trying to become an entrepreneur. To some people, it's a scary thought. To some others, it's just a natural progression of your career. There's something to be said about personalities. There are personalities who really, really wish to do that, and they're able to do it. Some others are more conservative. They prefer the path of a more simple, more calm, more consistent, safer life. Entrepreneurship is a life of uncertainty. It's a life of pressure, of stress, of surprises. Every day is new. It has its ups and downs. I honestly have to say that in our world of the business world, there are definitely more bad days than good days. There are more bad moments than good moments. But those good ones really make up for the rest of all of the toughness of this particular lifestyle. I call it. It's not even an industry. It's not even a career. It's a life choice where you live to design your own future, your own success. There are no limits, but the ones that you set out yourself to achieve. And certainly the secret is persistence. To just not take no for an answer, to continue no matter what kind of problems. I'm going to say that there hasn't been many moments difficult moments when I wasn't ready to walk away from business altogether and just take an easier route. So is it part of the process? Yes, it is difficult. It is excruciating at times, trying to juggle all of the different things that owning and building a business represents. But the trick is to take a little break and snap out of it and get back and keep going. I am too curious to really, and I have been my whole life, to want to see what's on the other side of all of these problems. I want to learn what success is all about, and that's what keeps you going.
Can I ask you about that? So that snapping out of it piece, because yes, you're absolutely right. Life is beautiful, but life is hard. Life throws things at you. It always will. And it doesn't matter, if you're wealthy, if you're poor, everyone has challenges. And I get it. Like, if someone's starving on the street, they're going to say, well, I'll take the rich person's problems any day of the week. I just want food. I get it. Like, there are different types of problems. But the reality is everyone does have problems and everyone struggles. They're just different. They are different types of problems. Yes. But when life throws you a challenge, when life throws you a problem and beats you down, and it will, regardless of where you're at in your own journey, it will throw you a new problem. When it beats you down and when you're on the ground, how have you like gone through that mental kind of mindset shift and reset to get back up again? Because you said it, you've had these four distinct, like super successful um business ventures, four times that it's just gone super well. But for every success, there are behind the scenes other failures. Or maybe I should say, rather than failures, there are other countless learning opportunities that have then been leveraged into the successes that you've had. And I can say the same thing in my own life. Like, sometimes people will ask me, John, I can't say that I've had the same level of success you've had, but people will look at me and they're like, John, you have a successful career. How do you do all the things that you do? Why does everything always work out for you? And I'm like, well, no, like I have way more failures than I ever have successes. I have way more rejections than I ever have acceptances or people saying yes. I have way more no's than yeses, but yeah. It's a matter of like, all of that stuff happens behind the scenes. All that stuff happens. I mean, I probably have at least 10 to 1 like failures to successes that people see. And so like, what do you do when you get those knockdowns to like do the mental reset so that you can respond in a positive way when frankly, a lot of people just get discouraged or they give up or they just say, it's not for me. I'm just going to go, try something that's a little bit more stable, a little bit more secure, a little bit more safe.
Yeah. No. Well, that's a great subject and a great question. In order to be sustainable in a career, you need a reason, you need a purpose in order to continue. That's perhaps the number one tool, let's call it. And it doesn't have to be just the money. It can be your family. It can be the achievement, the mission, the objective. You have to focus on the objective, and you can look at it. You nailed it. It's not called. I don't necessarily call them failures. They're setbacks. They're obstacles, bumps on the road. Because I always say that by default, we will succeed as long as we don't quit. We can have bad days. We can have bad businesses. We can have businesses that just don't get anywhere, and we have to move on to the other one and to the next one in further attempts. But we haven't truly failed as long as we don't throw the towel and completely walk away from it. It's sort of, you can have any analogy, sort of like in a game, you can lose a few points. You can be behind on the scoring at any given point, but the game is not over, and life is the game. As long as you continue and keep pushing, and the moment that life pushes back, you just keep pushing forward, because that's life's job. It's going to push back. It's not going to make it easier. And you also said something important, which is, I don't care who you are, if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're good looking, if you come from a great, wonderful family, we all have problems. We all have issues. The brain is a complicated thing that even when you have all of the things that appear to be the basic needs in order to achieve happiness, it's not, doesn't quite work that way. The brain finds other things to worry about and stress over and complicate your existence. You need to find those objectives within yourself, and in that ability to find the purpose for living and moving forward. I always say that you don't necessarily need passion. You don't necessarily need to find something that you enjoy doing in order to be successful. You just need to have the willingness, the resilience to want to get somewhere, to want to become successful. It's still at the level that I am. I don't necessarily work because I enjoy everything that I do. There are many things within my activities that I'm not too crazy about, but I do them because I see that they lead to my objectives. They are part of the process of me becoming the best version of the person that I want to be. So I start ignoring, to the best of my ability. I'm not going to say that I don't have moments again where things get very tough and I get annoyed, and I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing, and I want to change the course of my activities. But at some point, you have to realize why you're doing what you're doing, and find that strength. So is it easy? Absolutely not. Every person has to find a way to do it in their own way. You have to learn to understand yourself, what it is that wakes you up in the morning, what gives you motivation, what gives you incentives to keep going. You have to know your weaknesses. You have to know your strengths. You have to be honest with yourself and identify them. Sometimes we lie to ourselves and we think that we want something for the wrong reasons. And when that doesn't happen, we get disappointed, discouraged, sad, and we quit because we weren't fighting for the right objectives. We weren't fighting the right battles. So identifying those little by little starts giving you a reason for moving forward. I don't always know what gives me that strength. As part of your identity, part of your personality, and it takes a little bit of practice too.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think we often don't understand that about ourselves because we just kind of get into our day-to-day routine. We just do what we do, and we're so influenced by the world around us. Like society tells us these things are important. XYZ is important. The norms, our friend groups, our families, the community around us, society as a whole says XYZ is important. And we just think that's important. So we just do what everyone else does. And, by and large, that may be fine. But when it comes to doing things that are really hard, that will not sustain us. So if we're trying to start and run a business, that is really hard. Most businesses don't last 5 years, and it's because it's really hard. So you may have a great idea. It may be a super genius idea that the world needs, that you're the first one to ever come up with. That's not enough. Like you have to work your butt off to be able to bring that to market and to be able to help people become aware of it. And it's not enough to have the great idea. And so just doing it because it's interesting to you, because it's fun, whatever, like what's your deeper why? And it can't just be something because whatever surface level thing, because whatever that surface level motivation is the world tells you is important. Like what's your deeper why? And that's like you got to dig deeper, and yeah, in my experience, a lot of people don't really know until push comes to shove and they're really forced to learn what that deeper why is for them.
You're very right. You're very right.
Any idea, like, because I don't want people to have to wait until like life throws them such a big curveball that they're forced to hit rock bottom to figure that out. Like how can we proactively discover that for ourselves without being compelled to figure it out? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's all being introspective. It's attempting to learn, sitting down for a minute and learning a little bit about ourselves. This is something that I do very often. I'm a deep thinker. I recommend people to spend a little time with themselves, just identifying, getting to know oneself is very important, because the definition of success should be, it is, and it should be very different for all of us.
Yeah.
Society tells us, put success in a box. You have to have this, you have to have money, you have to have a certain type of career, and it defines it very clearly, but it's meaningless to many of us if you don't identify what it is that makes you happy. Who are you? What do you want out of life? What are you willing to give in exchange of achieving the goals and the dreams that you have? We are all born not only with certain characteristics, but in a certain environment. And that environment tends to play a big part of who we become. And we end up living a life that we perceive to be the right one. How many of us have had mentors, parents, older brothers and sisters, family and friends that guide us through a life that we don't necessarily want or wish to have for the rest of our lives? We become an attorney because my dad was an attorney, and I become a doctor because or I get into finance because that's what I've been told. And we follow those footsteps. Even now, it's getting worse and worse with the social media, with Instagram and Facebook and all of these tools that lead us to believe that success has one face, one format, and that is a mistake. What I recommend is for you to have the clarity to identify, what does it mean to you? What do you want to achieve out of your life? And the way I do this, here is a good tool. I sit around and I transport myself 20, 30 years from now, and I start thinking about, where do I want to be? What kind of stories I want to tell? Who do I want to look back and say that I was, and the things that I achieved? And that is the person that I want to become. The one that I know it's going to make me happy and proud. And it's not about money. It's not about success. It's about the path that you follow to get to that point where you're going to feel proud of yourself. Now, of course, there's something to be said about the combination of finding that path and being able to support yourself. Nowadays, we're all into finding that passion and being happy. There's a new generation of people who just want to be happy and have an endless amount of pleasure. But we forget the other extreme, which is not all about joy and happiness and pleasure and relaxation. You also have to support yourselves and your families and be able to turn yourself into a good member, a productive member of society. So you have to blend those two. You don't have to reach any level of, again, what people perceive as success. You have to be successful within yourself, be able to support yourself, be able to have the lifestyle that you want, and be able to support it. So finding the easiest way and the most comfortable way of getting there takes a little bit of time for you to think about it and make those decisions without being influenced. For example, now that I look back and I spend a lot of time helping others, mentoring and giving advice, I'm very careful in the way that I dispense this type of information, because one thing is what I believe will make you happy, and something else is what it's truly going to turn you into an inner, give you that inner peace and provide you with that happiness. So you even then be careful. On the other side, be careful whose advice you take. Even if they are people who you may look up to, they may necessarily not feel or want the same things that you do. So listen, take advice, but always make your own conclusions as to where you see your life headed.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice. And you're absolutely right. Like, getting advice from trusted advisors. I'm a big believer in kind of like surrounding yourself with people you trust, having your own personal board of advisors, so to speak. Great idea. But ultimately, you have to still make your own decisions. You still have to ultimately decide what is best for you. And you can't just outsource that responsibility. You can't just outsource your motivations. You can't outsource, what's important to you. And I think people do that all the time. People, whether it's I don't know, whether it's like a political party or a religion or whatever, they just say, what matters to other people, that's going to be what matters to me. And that's a shortcut that sometimes kind of works for people, but in the long run, I don't think it's really going to work. Like and it may be that you have most alignment, like I know religion works for people, and I consider myself a spiritual person, but like you may have like 90% alignment with whatever like religious community that you're a part of, but you personally need to decide how your values and your motivations align with that community, right? You can't just wholesale outsource that to them. Like, you have to make that decision for yourself, or a political party, or a friend group, or like whatever it is. And I think the same thing applies when you get to the workplace, with an organization you're working with, if you have a team that you're working with. When you're trying to find meaning and purpose, and you're trying to collaborate effectively with other people, it's an ongoing personal journey that you have to take personal ownership over. And that can be scary, I think, for people, because as soon as you take personal ownership, that means you also take personal responsibility. And people don't always want personal responsibility, because then if something doesn't work, or it doesn't work out the way you want it to, then you can't like blame other people for quote unquote failures. But like you just said, it's not a failure as long as you just don't give up. Like, if there's a setback, you didn't fail. You just learn, and then you grow, and then you move forward. And so I think a lot of this is just reframing how we view our progression in life. And we're never done until, we're done trying. So Jose, I note the time. This has just been such a fun conversation, and I would love to talk to you all day, but I know you have a busy schedule, and I need to let you get going with your busy day. Before we start to wrap things up, I wanted to give you a chance to share with the audience how they can connect with you, find out more about your work, your team, where they can find out more about how to work with you in the future, and then give us a final word on the topic for today.
Absolutely. Thanks again, John. And yes, I can. I'm easily found. joseberlanga.com. I am old school, where I haven't done much in the social media world. I'm beginning to adapt to it. That's been a tough one for me, coming from a different generation, but I understand that that's the new way to live. I'm going to start doing much more videos and interviews and presentations, conferences, and things like that I truly enjoy. So look out for much more to come. And just to wrap things up, I agree with you. Be accountable for yourself. Be responsible for your actions. No one can make you happy. No one can turn you into an ambitious person. No one can provide you with the inner peace that you can give to yourself. Know that you own your life. Be confident. Be very, very secure about who you are, what you want, where you're headed. Don't let others confuse you or blur the path towards your success and your happiness. This is something that we all tend to do at some point. We think that I love your sweatshirt, by the way. You are enough. I think that needs to be the statement to wrap it up. You are enough for the world, for yourself, and then some. So don't ever take people's opinions and allow them to affect the outcome of your life and the path of your success.
Awesome. Jose, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. I encourage the audience to reach out, to get connected, find out more about what Jose can do for you. And as always, I hope everyone can stay healthy and safe, that you can find meaning and purpose at work each and every day. And I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the podcast. We hope you stay healthy and safe, and please join us again soon.